Good, what's good, everybody? Welcome to Candid Combos. I'm your host, Queen Price. We got Chloe on deck. Say what's up to the people, Chloe.
Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. That's all I
You
got.
sound like
Happy Wednesday.
you feeling tonight.
Hmm? I am. I'm tired. I've been hitting it hard, so I'm trying to chill. I'm ready to get into this topic. Hopefully, everybody gonna be on their best behavior.
Yeah,
So,
we're gonna see. I got a couple instances tonight, but shout out to everybody joining us tonight. Um, like I said, we always appreciate everybody supporting the mission, supporting the show. Like I said, we are live on Facebook. We are also on YouTube as well. So definitely go over to the Quay Price page. Um, Drop a subscribe, show a little love. Like I said, we're trying to grow the platform, trying to expand our reach. And like I said, at the end of the day, like, share, subscribe, bring a friend, tell a buddy. Yeah, come get into these conversations. Come join us on the panel. Let's hash some of these things out and let's move us forward. All right. All right. All right. All right. So we got a couple things tonight. A couple things tonight. Um, we're gonna start it out like this. Title of the show tonight. You got to be kidding me. We're gonna keep it real easy tonight. We're gonna run that back. Title for tonight's show. You got to be kidding me. Shout out to my guy Rodney checking in from Lansing. Okay, you gotta handle some daddy business. No, we can understand, man. Do what you got to do. Definitely join us tonight, man. I can use some of your input. But shout out to Lansing representing as always. So, as you guys know, like I said, I get a lot of videos, a lot of footage, a lot of things come my way. And like I said, I think a lot of the content that comes my way or gets sent my way is worthy of the conversation. At the end of the day, there's not a lot of platforms out here that are ready to really have some conversations. People like to run away from getting triggered. They like to run away from keeping it real. They like to run away from any type of accountability for that matter. Yeah, but like I've said in the past, and like I will continue to say, we run from no conversations on this show. None at all. So yeah, for anybody who is not scared, I'm gonna drop the link to the panel. So here's the link to the panel. You can join us up here on the screen. Makes for better engagement, makes for a better conversation. I've dropped this link as well in both of the chat feeds. So you can go over to the Candid Convos page, spelled with a K, on Facebook, or you can go down to my Quay Price page as well. And the link is down in the chat or down in the comments. But yeah, you drop it in your browser, just like a Zoom. Drop it in your browser, your Edge, your Chrome, whatever you're using, your Apple device, whatever you got. Drop it in there. You can join us. Like I say, you do have the ability to cut your camera off if you're scared, but we encourage folks to join us on the panel because we ain't scared. All right, so we got a couple videos for context tonight. I don't know, Chloe, which one you think I got a couple. Which should it be Kendra G? Should it be? I got a couple.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what we're gonna talk about.
Okay.
You're very mysterious with the topic tonight.
Yeah, like I said, I got a couple things. So we're gonna start with Kendra tonight. She had to get it off her chest. So rock with us for a minute. Like I said, this one got a couple minutes on it. Rock with us for a minute.
So here's what happened that was really interesting. This is the reason I wanted to make this video is after Kendra G read the comments and saw how just viciously the women in the comment section were coming after this man, she wasn't having it, right? she checked the women in there who were talking about he's ugly, get him off, we're done, we don't want him, get him out of here. And she checked him. And that's what I'm going to play right now. Let's get it.
Ooh, you know what? I was reading some of the comments. I think most of them were from women. And some of you women really get on my last damn nerve. And let me tell you why. Because see, some of the women saying, wrap him up, we don't want him. Listen, I will honor that if the men can do that when a woman comes on this screen that they don't want to talk to. It's so interesting to me. First of all, shout out to Godfrey, who was at least honest about his appearance. I would not call him ugly, but I know what you women want, and he probably wasn't the desired attractiveness that most of you women desire. That's why y'all want me to hang up on him. But why is it when a woman who's not attractive, because all you ain't pretty, all you ain't cute. So when the men in the comments saying the shit that y'all be saying about the guys that y'all don't like about the females, y'all be in y'all feelings. So why do y'all have the right to choose men based on attractiveness, and the men have the right to say I don't want her because I don't find her attractive? Y'all be in the comments trying to big up your sisters, which I do love and support, but y'all already know the guy might not be feeling her. So here's gonna be the rule. I have no problem because the guys are here for the ladies and the ladies are here for the guys. So if there's a guy on this platform that if I get so many women saying hang up, we don't want to hear from him, guess what? I might honor that, but guess what? Men gonna have the same ability to tell me to hang up on a girl because he don't want them. Because remember, y'all here for the men. And guess what? If that goes that way, I'll probably talk to some of you girls for 30 seconds because some of y'all don't pass they test. And that's why it really irritates me that y'all have no problem being in the comments, expressing yourself about the men when y'all don't like something. And then have the absolute nerve to be upset when men act like y'all. I say it all the time. The women are more mean on my show than the men. The women are more mean on my show than the men. Men pretty much know they can't say things inappropriate because y'all gonna get upset. But y'all be so comfortable with being disrespectful. So I'm gonna make sure these men be out here being disrespectful just back. It's very tacky and it's very rude. And I think y'all don't know how they think about y'all because they're being polite by not saying shit. Their silence is their kindness. And we're gonna keep it all the way 100. And like he said, what the hell Godfrey said, you know, he don't got the ability. You got to take the man for what he is. That's what he is. The society wouldn't accept him if he got surgery or did something to his face. Women, we have all the benefits in the world of enhancing our pretty. It's actually our gift. And guess what? I like that gift because y'all know I'm wigged down, makeup on my face. So, but I'm also 1000% understanding, like, this is different from how I looked before I got dressed to sit my ass in this chair. I think some of you women don't realize that. Y'all don't realize that y'all coming up here in your Halloween costume every day, walking in this world to be accepted by certain people. Men don't have that luxury to walk around in a Halloween costume every day. They got to be judged for what they were born with. And some of you be in those comments going real hard and then be in your feelings when you get judged the same. I don't like that shit. So we're going to move forward, but y'all going to have to really start learning how to check yourself because y'all acting like y'all all beauty queens. Y'all not all beauty queens, okay?
Ooh-wee. Man, laid that out. Back to the title. You got to be kidding me. All right. So that was Kendra G. Shout out to Kendra G. Like I said, she does the singles dating show on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram now. As you guys got a chance to see, she went on and let it all hang out. She had a guest on the show named Godfrey. He was a very average man. He was very or was able to admit that. And that was how he presented himself. And of course, the ladies took that information, ran with it, you know, dropped all types of negative comments and just I can only imagine what was in that comment section. But just essentially dogging my man out and basically, you know, get him off the show. We don't want to see him, that type of thing. Like I said, and as you guys got a chance to hear, Kendra was not happy with that. So she, like I said, she let it loose. And basically expressed her disgust and her lack of compassion for some of the things that she's seeing from the ladies. And then too, the double standard. The double standard today is just, it's crazy. But I don't know. I said we got a couple videos, but we're gonna start with that one. So just to you know, kind of touch on that. How'd y'all feel about that video? Was she right? Was she wrong? Was she out of pocket? Give me your thoughts on that. I see we got Vince down below. What's up to you, Vince? Go ahead, Chloe.
Yeah.
You want to say something?
I mean, I agree with everything that she said. Generally, I have observed that women are more mean than men. I think that's partially part of the reason why when men do open up their mouths to say something about a woman, if it is even the least bit mean or even direct, it can just be direct. Women take offense to it relatively easily. Women cannot take the same type of scrutiny that a man has to absorb. You know, men are told instantly if they're not attractive, if their wallets aren't fat enough. You know, I mean, let's just be honest. We grown folks, if their genitalia isn't big enough, like they are very quickly told how they fall short all the time. But for women, even if it is hinted at that she might not be, you know, pristine, then she's offended. And I just think I'm with Kendra. Like, if keep that same energy. If he ugly and you don't want to see him, then keep that same energy when y'all get up on there. You know, I've watched a few of Kendra's shows, and one night she had a girl on there that was out of control. I mean, the woman had on a tube top, and she was probably a size 26, and this woman had on a tube top. I ain't gonna even tell you what that looked like. But she didn't get booed off. You know, there wasn't all of these comments about get her off the show. See, men wasn't doing that because typically men don't do that. And for me, ladies, like, your true colors are showing. Like, you can't walk around here anymore like your stuff don't stink. Like, your true colors are showing. Like, men are not just taking what you say at face value. Now they are also watching your actions, and your actions are speaking even louder than your words. Although some of the things that in general I've been seeing women say, they aren't very attractive either. You know, like I just think it's just that show right there was really a good example of kind of the state of the relationship between men and women. Ladies have become very, very demanding, and their expectations are quite high when it comes to men. But, you know, like I said, I don't see that same energy when a man goes to ask for even some of the same things from a woman. And, you know, I think it's something that ladies should think about. You know, I really think you have to take a look at that and go, where is that coming from and why? And, you know, maybe the next time a man asks you what you bring to the table, or maybe the next time a man asks you, well, you know, why should I choose you? Or why should I get married? You know, maybe next time you can think about that, you know, when you are, you know, offended, because, you know, I just think that there should be expectations on both sides. And ladies, you can't get mad.
Facts, that's facts. It's good, Vince. How you doing, man?
Hello. How are you this evening?
Doing well, doing
Hey,
well.
Chloe.
Hey, Vince. Welcome. Welcome. Good to see you.
Hey.
You ain't got nothing to show us, do you, man?
Well, for the night, I have Burberry Touch.
Oh.
It's a very light scent. When you got your jeans and your blazer on,
Okay.
and you're going out for maybe a drink, with the fellas, and you just want to be casual, this the scent. Burberry Touch
There it is. There it
by
is.
Burberry.
Sound good to me, man. So that's the one that's the one that's gonna sneak up on her. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh yeah, that's the casual. You got your jeans and your nice loafers on, and your blazer. You're just going out, step out for a minute. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like how that sound. I like how that sound. You wanna did you want to comment on this at all, man? Or you came in did you catch it too late?
Yeah, I won't comment. I don't know if I had a conversation with the young lady last week who I considered a little sister to me. I know. I think that you commented on the post, and what it was a older lady who was actually my realtor, and we were having a conversation about the state of relationships, and we were talking, and she was saying that now the conversation has changed. She was saying that the conversation has become divisive, excuse me. And I said, well, I think some of these conversations has just uncovered things that have already been there. But it
Right.
took a certain amount of men who couldn't be canceled to say something. So then a young lady who I consider a little sister chimed in on that. Yeah, teach them, sis. Yeah, this. So I just referred to her. I was like, I don't even know why you in this conversation because you're single, you unmarried, and you don't want no kids. So why are you even having this conversation? Then the very next sentence, she called me the N word.
Yeah.
N word. I'm as grown as you are. Now, mind you, this is one of my best friend's little sisters. Her mother calls me her son. That's how long I've been knowing this girl. And I mean, it was so quick for her to call me the N word. On the very N word, I'm grown. I'm as grown as you. And I said, this is the way you speak to your elders. You ain't my elder. We only, you just my. And I can understand because her brother he got a lot going on, so she doesn't really respect her brother. I understood that, but to call me the N word so quick, I was like, you really don't have any respect for me. Now,
Right.
mind you, when she was up at Easter, she called me one day saying that she couldn't find her mother. I dropped what I was doing, and me and her drove around. I went and picked up my best friend. We drove around down at the DIA trying to find her mother, and we eventually found her. And of course, I asked her, was I N word then? Was I N word when you needed my help? Was I N word when you were up at Easter and she couldn't find your brother and she called me to give her a ride to do anything? Well, you just did that one time and that don't mean nothing. I said, so I can't be respected for that one time that I helped you and your brother and your mother. Well, you just don't have no right to say that. But my thing was, what did I say that wasn't true?
Right.
We're talking about relationships, i.e., marriage. She's not married. She doesn't have any kids. She doesn't say she wants to be married. So, what do you really have an opinion on what we're talking about? Just to be in the amen corner. You know what I'm talking about. Those little
For sure.
comments just to try to be funny.
For sure.
So, but then I really had to understand. I really wanted to ask her, what man in your life do you really respect? Because I know her brother. I understand why her brother got a bunch of kids and yada yada. Father was on drugs and yada yada yada. So I'm looking like, you it was so easy for her to call me the N-word. It kind of shocked me. Like, you can agree with me, but I'm not calling you the B-word. But I think that, and I was telling my wife cut beat up because my wife got on there and was ready, like, oh, wait a minute, you gonna respect my husband. And I had to just shut it down. I unfriended her, and that was it. But I think that we have gotten so far away, and men who can really stand on it, men who really have their receipts, have learned just to be quiet. So the loudest voices are coming from men who don't have receipts. So they can, they don't believe those type of men, because the men who got together don't need to say nothing. They got their wives, they got their kids, they got their money, they out there they don't have to say anything. So the loudest voices are sometimes coming from men who got an ulterior motive. They got an agenda. So I just think it's just the disrespect for the black male image has just gotten to a point where the truth is offensive. You can't even tell her what, I was just telling her what I said. What did I say that wasn't true? Well, you just shouldn't have said it. Well, why shouldn't I have said it? Well, I'm just as grown as you are. No, you're not just as grown as me. I'm 15 years older than you. But she feels like she on my level just now because she grown and got a degree. And she got a, MBA behind her name, and she can take care of herself. And she can talk to her brother like that. You can't talk to me like that, young lady.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, I feel what you're saying, man. I think, when I say you make a valid point, and I think that plays heavily into, a lot of the things that we're seeing. Like I said, the level of respect, it has just diminished. It literally has diminished. We're seeing so many situations where women do not respect men. Like I said, and we got fellas out here that don't respect women. Yeah, and it's like, people just have a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to the opposite sex. Like I said, tying back to the video, the ladies and being so quick to want to get my man off the show because he was not a quote unquote a looker, or he wasn't handsome, like majority of the ladies may want. But then at the same time, they don't want to be treated like that. And like I said, some of that behavior is just running rampant. And I very clearly remember the post that you were talking about, Vince, because I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. I took offense to that post because the young lady was so quick to call you the N-word. And that's just always funny to me when I see that, because I'm like, ladies, you will literally have a fit if a dude walked up to you and called you the B-word. But y'all slang that N-word around like, like you saying hello. And I really have to question, if we are always going around, because this is another thing that we like to do, and you mentioned it, as you was giving us the story, Vince, but this is something that we like to do. Everybody is so quick to call themselves grown. I'm grown this, I'm grown that, who you talking to like that. Everybody grown. But we got so many examples of people not acting like they grown. Yeah, but I have to go back to something that C. Prince said. I wish he was on here right now, but C. Prince made a statement before on a previous show, and he said a lot of people, or a lot of ladies, he was speaking to ladies in particular. He said a lot of these ladies may be grown, or essentially grown in age, but they're not grown in the way that they act. Yep, a lot of these women or females who are calling themselves women are actually still technically little girls. Yep, and I'm starting to see a lot of that. Yep, tying back to that video, you know, ladies quick in those comments to dog this brother out. Typically, a grown person ain't quick to dog nobody out because most grown people done been there, done that. They done experienced stuff. They've been talked about at some point, bullied, talked down on, called the N word, called the B word. So they done been there and done that. So they're not quick to do that type of stuff. Yeah, they're not quick to go talking about how somebody looking or you know, get him off the show. Like, they're not quick to do that type of stuff. But when I see this stuff running rampant the way that it is, these ain't grown folks, at least not in my opinion. Yep, it's just certain stuff that as you really mature and really become what we want to call grown, certain stuff you're supposed to leave behind. Yeah, I'll give you an example. Slightly off topic, but it applies. You know, situation the other day, you know, saw some folks trip, fall. The young folks was laughing. The grown folks was looking like, are you okay? Yep, do you need some help? Let me help you up. Yep, that's the difference between somebody grown and somebody not. Yeah, when you grown, when you see certain stuff, you can run that scenario through your head and you like, man, that mess probably hurt. That ain't funny. I'm not laughing at that. That ain't funny because that could be me. I might not be able to get back up. Yep, young folks, immature folks don't see it that way. They think it's funny. Everything's funny. Yo, so with all of the stuff that we see in these days, I really need to say a lot of folks need to reconsider how grown they actually are. Yeah, 'cause a lot of this ain't grown behavior. But I'm gonna leave it at that for now. Like I said, we got a couple things I gotta touch. Y'all got anything else y'all want to say on that, or you want to move to this next one?
I'm good.
You good, Vince?
Yeah, we can move on.
All right. So I got another one. This is a little two-parter. This is actually kind of interesting. So yeah, we're gonna start this one up. I'm gonna play this first part of the video, and then I'm gonna jump to the second part. So we're gonna have this conversation. All right, hold tight.
I come to the table with the chairs, the bacon. So I'm not asking or begging a man to take care of me because I don't need that, honey. Look at me.
Few moments later.
All right, that's the first part of the video. Let me jump into the second part. Same lady, mind you. All right.
Y'all, I'm tired. I no longer want to be an independent woman. Forget that INDE. I'm good. I want to be a housewife. Listen, the next man that has good credit, a stable home, finances is straight, baby, I'm marrying you. Yes, sir, I am. I'm not an alpha female no more. I've learned my lesson. Baby, I will be submissive to you. Baby, I will cook for you. I will clean for you. Yes, daddy, whatever you need. You want sex when you want it? Yes, sir, you got it. Baby, you want a meal at 3 o'clock in the morning? Yes, sir, you got it. Take care of me. Because this working 2 jobs, although I love being a registered nurse, I love my profession. Let me just work as needed. Let me work when I want to work. I'm over it. I'm tired, y'all. So hook your luck. I'm looking for a husband. I'm ready to be a housewife.
All right, man. You guys heard.
Okay. So what's going on, Johnny? You all right?
Hey.
She got that happy hour face. You all right over there?
Hey, I went to a baseball game. I've been drinking. Everybody's.
Okay. All right. We understand.
No,
We understand. But all right. So that's another another video that came my way. So that young lady, of course, at some point, somebody asked her the question, what does she bring to the table? She listed out all the stuff. She was the table, the chairs, and whatever she said, the hash brown, whatever. So she is the table. But then she comes back and records another video talking about basically she ready to let the independent woman life go. She ready to be a housewife. She ready to cater to the man. She ready to, what she say, cook at 3 a.m. She ready to, what she say, sex whenever he wanted. Like she done did a full 360.
She had an epiphany.
So she went from not being the man and independent to now she want to be a housewife and she want a man. So that's the title for the show. You got to be kidding me.
Can you make this stuff up? You need that. Come on, where that sound at?
I do need that one. I gotta find that. I gotta find that. So I'm trying to understand this. So how do we go from the independent woman, got her own, don't need no man for nothing, to now she need a man and want to be a housewife? I need one of the ladies to help me understand what just happened. Tell me something, or Vince, somebody tell me something. I'm trying to figure out what just happened.
She tagged. She hitting that wall. She's hit the wall. She has hit the wall. See, the thing is it's cute when you're in your 20s and even when you're in your 30s working that hard. She said she's working 2 jobs. Like it's one thing when you got all the energy in the world and you know what I mean? Like it's cute. But she said she was 39. I don't know if she said it in that part, but I saw the whole thing. And she said she was 39. And so she knocking on 40. And some of that stuff just ain't cute no more. It just stopped being cute. You know, like you now you're looking at your, you know, the years behind you and you're looking at the years in front of you, right? And now you're like, look, I've been doing this for 20 years, whatever. And do I want to do this for another 20 to 30 years? Is this the life that I want? And I think that she is just an example of many ladies who get to that point where they go, you know, oops. I mean, I thought this was the way. And it's just not cute anymore. Because the truth of the matter is it never really was. Like we were just not built to have to work that hard. We just weren't. It doesn't mean that we can't. It doesn't mean we don't have the ability to do. We certainly can. But the truth of the matter is it's not our nature. Like it's literally not our design. So what we're doing is, and this is probably controversial, all of this that I'm saying, but what we're doing is we are putting ourselves in a cycle that as women, we weren't even naturally created to maintain. So we're doing things with the strength that we were giving, that same strength that we were giving to carry babies and to nurture and to do all of those things that are our role as complements. We're taking that energy and that strength and we're throwing it at, you know, 2 or 3 jobs. And quite honestly, a lot of these ladies are getting burned out. Period. They're burned out. And I've had women say this, like, I'm tired. I'm burned out. I don't want to do it by myself anymore. And that's what it is. But this epiphany that they're having at 40 would have been nice if they would have had it at 25 or 30. Now you're 40, and let's just be honest, you know, you've hit the wall, period. And now you're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like the situation that I created for myself. And it's okay to get to that point as long as you're going to be honest about it and say, hey, this is what I did, but this is not what I want to continue to do, right? But I mean, I think that's what's happening. And part of the problem is, as women, some of the frustration that I believe we're seeing from some women, obviously I'm speaking in general, I can't speak for every woman, but some of the frustrations I think we're seeing is coming from that, right? Like you've created these environments and these scenarios when it wasn't that big of a deal. Because in the beginning, when you were in your 20s and everything was a certain way, it just wasn't that big of a deal. But now you're getting older and now it matters so much more. Right. So I think that, we're getting that wake up call. So for me, I would just say for those women who get to that point, like that lady, like that, speak to the young women, speak to them, tell them, hey, this is what INDEPE, this is what this look like at 40. This is what this could potentially look like. Every woman I know don't have the same scenario, but this is potentially what this could look like at 40. So maybe make different decisions earlier on so that you could set yourself up to be in a different situation at 40. Don't glamorize being for the streets in your 20s and your 30s. Don't glamorize that, because I see a lot of people glamorizing being for the streets. See, when they bodies is tight and young and they hot and they ready, then it is, I'm for the streets. I can't settle down. I got things I need to do. And then a couple of kids later and, a couple jobs later and, hopefully not, but a lot of times a couple of baby daddies later, then, I'm tired. I'm ready to get married. The next man to come over they're 6 feet tall and got 6 figures, 666, baby, I'm with it. And I just think that, for me, it should be a caution. I think let's start being honest, right? And this all goes back to accountability. Let's start taking accountability for decisions that we made. Maybe they weren't the greatest. Okay, own them. Do what you can to change them, and then make sure you share that knowledge with somebody else who's coming up that can learn from you. Vince say it all the time. What about our kids? So let's try to set better examples for the young ladies who have to come after us so they can understand what this is like. Because ain't nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with being in a relationship, in a healthy relationship. It's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you don't want to get married, you don't want to get married. Everybody ain't meant to get married, and ain't nothing wrong with being single. If that's what you want, if that's what you truly want, ain't nothing wrong with it. But I believe that there are only a minority of women who actually want to be single forever. So if that's the case, then, we really got to look at what we're doing out here.
Okay. All right. You want to say something, Janice?
Janice is not for the streets, so I agree with Chloe.
She cleared that up right quick.
Look, I'm not for the streets. Okay, I've probably been single for what, a year and a half? I've been divorced for a year and a half. Yeah, I'm not for the streets. I'll probably be married in about another 6 months. This ain't the life for me. So
let them know, sis.
Look, it's not the life for me. I did 10 years of marriage, and it keeps me calm. I feel more like a woman when I'm married. I'm not for the streets.
So let me hold on. Let me touch that. So what do you mean when you say you feel more like a woman when you're married? What does that mean?
I mean, like right now, I gotta do too much.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
It's just a lot. It's just too much. I would prefer like a helpmate. Like I can do it. Now, don't get it twisted. I can do it, but I'm not going to be very feminine. Like I'm going to be more like masculine, more aggressive, more attitude-ish. I just want to be able to like chill, be more womanly. Like, right now, no. I'm gonna come at you. So I am for marriage. Give me about 6 months, y'all. I'll be married again.
Okay. All right, there it is.
Why is it looking like that? It's not hard to get married. It's really not. There's a lot of men that you got to pick the man that wants to be married. It's not hard. It's really not.
Come on, Vince. I know you about to say something. Go ahead, Vince.
Go, Vince. Go ahead.
I got a couple things. I knew when I see them scrubs. I said, I bet you she RN.
Nurse.
I'm in healthcare. It's general because they do make a certain amount of money.
Right.
It's different, and I think that she just had a bad day. Probably somebody came at her wrong. She got that mortgage statement or them taxes, and she was like, "I need." Whoo, because she got that $10,000 tax bill, and she just, now I gotta put another shift. I gotta be a traveling nurse. I gotta because they work. They most of the nurses I work have 2 jobs, and that's because they want a certain lifestyle. They want to, because they're in an environment with doctors and nurses, but usually the white nurses have white doctor husbands. They got to do it by themselves. So they try to compete. They make it 150, but they try to compete with people that's making $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
They go into their house in Bloomfield, and they living in Southfield, and they like, well, if we want to be friends, I got to step my game up, but I don't have no help, so I got to do it myself. Now, let's go back to the mayor. I think that, it's easy to get married, but are you going to marry anybody of any value? I had this conversation with my realtor friend the other day. She's been married a couple times, and she said, "Oh yeah, I can get married." And I'm thinking about, well, you just had somebody who lived with you, so are you gonna marry anybody that anybody will feel like as if, yeah, you can marry anybody, but are you gonna marry a man of any value? And not necessarily monetarily, but just a man that somebody else will consider valuable. And my thing is, sometimes we gotta look at our history. I always, a lot of ladies say, I can get married, but yeah, you marrying, you marrying a regular schmegler. Now, if you had a doctor and a lawyer and a lawn service guy who's good and a electrician, then I'm gonna say, hey, yeah, I guess you can. But if you marrying Joe Schmegler, I can go out there and find somebody on the corner and marry. But it's so my thing is that we just, and then also I think that when we're looking at stuff like that, it has to be natural. And that's one thing that we have to, because if you're doing it for somebody, then you're not really doing it for the right reason. Like if she's saying, "Oh, I'll do this and do this because you're marrying me," then what's going to happen when times get hard? Are you going to say, "Well, I'm not doing it anymore because I didn't really want to do it in the first place, or did I do it just to get you? Did I cook for you just because I wanted to get you? And now that I got you and start getting hard, I'm gonna go back to how I've always been."
Right. Yeah, that's a valid point, man. And that was part of the video that I left out. So of course from the video there was a lot of comments that were left after she said what she said. And to be honest with you, a lot of the brothers said basically throw her back to the streets.
Not throw her to the street.
They literally was like, throw her back to the streets. Like they was like, this, we don't care. If you done decided that now you want to be a housewife, like we don't care. Yeah, there ain't nobody trying to hear that now. You had your time, you missed it. Go about your business. Like, and that's literally what they was telling her.
Wow.
And I just wonder, do some of our women consider that there's a such thing as running out of time? Yeah, but I think in that young lady's situation, she had some things going for her. Let's say it's just based off the comments. Some of the cats was like, hey, she was still single. She didn't have any kids. So they was like, that was a benefit working in, her corner. Then I think she had a decent, she had a good job as the nurse. So that worked in her corner. But it's like, then they start tearing into the other things, and to your point, Vince, it's just like it's conditional. So now you want to do these things because essentially you're looking for a man to kind of come, if you will, rescue you. If the fellas was like, that ain't genuine. If that's not really you, that's not really coming from you. That's just coming from your desperation. So that's why I think, like I said, we really gotta prioritize and put the needed importance around our decisions and our younger years. I don't think we really do that. Yeah, I think we get in the mindset of, we young, so we got plenty of time to play and make mistakes. But I think what we don't realize is that stuff don't never really go away. Like, you lose time on that. Essentially, you're taking a bet. Really what it is. Yep, and that can come back to bite you later. Yep, in this young lady's situation, if she was making this decision when she was 26, might be totally different. If she was making this decision at 30, might be totally different. Yeah, but making this decision at 39, 40 years old, 40 plus, your options is already limited down at that point. Because a lot of people have gotten involved with somebody at that point. There's children involved in people's lives at this point. Like, it's a totally different playing field once you hit 40. And then too, the other thing you got to consider is people's standards have locked in and changed by 39, 40 years old. So some stuff that they may have tolerated in their 20s, they ain't tolerating that at no 40. Yeah, but I think that go for men and women. I'm sure there's stuff that women ain't even about to tolerate at no 40 years old from no guy. Yeah, but what I think the missing piece is I think some of our women do not consider that men have those same thoughts. Yeah, certain stuff they're not gonna tolerate at 40 years old. And I think that's why a lot of cats was like, hey, they can throw her back to the streets. They ain't even about to play around with her. So yeah, I'm just like, man, we got to get real in our younger day before we get to this point. Because like I said, everything changes in these ages. Shout out to IT. I see her checking in late. Always checking in late. Shout out to IT. Yeah, I got one more video. I'm gonna throw up. So I know what is it? Yeah, it's about almost 9:30. I got one more video I'm gonna throw up. Just because I think it's interesting. So I know I've been busting through these topics tonight, but yeah, I gotta throw this one up just because. Yeah, I think it's interesting. All right, so let me do this real quick.
This breaks all sociological orders of the culture we're living in now. Because we are raising up women to be men. And you are not applauded for your femininity. You are applauded in the contemporary society by how tough, rough, nasty, mean, aggressive, hateful, possessive you are, and you're climbing the corporate ladder, but you're losing our families. I know you can buy your own car. I know you can buy your own house. But until you create a need that I can pour into, I have no place in your life. So stop coming home bragging to me about how much you don't need me and wonder why I shy away. Oh, y'all ain't gonna talk back to me this morning.
So, all right.
I am so glad you shared that.
Child, why don't he start a men's service and teach them men then? Child, I don't have the patience for that. Go get a men's group. Like, I don't have the patience.
Come on, Johnny.
So you know what? Let me tell you something. Like, I just came from Detroit this weekend. We had a family reunion, right? And then the uncle was like, it was an argument about cooking, right? Who's going to cook? And I'm like, I'm not cooking. My other cousins who's females were like, we're not cooking. My uncle's like, well, I don't want to cook. I'm like, okay, well, all them little nephews you got, all these little nephews we got, all the men on my dad's side, they ain't about shit, right? Okay. So why don't y'all uncles go over there and get y'all nephews and teach them what you like? Those are things I'm talking about. Go teach them how to properly do stuff. All the women doing good in the family, but y'all got all these little nephews running around, robbing, stealing, on drugs, alcoholics, and then y'all gonna ask us what we gonna do. Go teach them little boys what to do. Half of them ain't got daddies. They got uncles though. So why don't y'all step up? So my whole thing, I get irritated a little bit when men say these things about what the women are doing. What are y'all men doing? Go do some. If you ain't got no kids, as a guy, you ain't got no kids, go mentor some boys. Go mentor. Go give back and teach these boys what to do. So I get irritated when they try to push it just on the women. Like the women, you got to survive. So you got to do what you got to do. I get it. Survive. But all these men out here, show these little boys what to do. Show them. Teach them. Don't just act like, oh, women, they just want to be aggressive. No, I'm out here dating and some of these men get on my damn nerves. Like, where's y'all daddies? Where's y'all uncles? And they don't have them.
So okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish.
I get what you're saying, but I also go make a little what they do. They do like these little committees. They create these little things in church. Do a little what they do, a men's group. Get a little men's group, and you train them. Teach them, and you can also do a women's group. Teach them how to deal with them and help them also, if that's what he wants to do. But don't just sit here and say da 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 da. Create these. TDJ's got enough money to create a bunch of groups to help teach people how to be a family again.
So I agree with you. Normally I don't agree with take your money, take your dollars, Jakes. I really don't typically agree with him. I don't. So I'm gonna be honest, I don't typically agree with him, okay? But this one time he did make a valid point. Like, and I think that we should be talking about this kind of stuff in church. We should, right? Because if you're someone who believes, right, if you do believe and Christianity is your religion of choice and you believe in Christ, then we're supposed to be living our lives according to his rules, principles, and commandments. And yes, that is the natural order of things. And our society has sort of gotten out of that balance. If that is something that you believe, we have gotten out of that balance. We do have women that are more masculine, and in cases, men that are more feminine. Like, we do have that loss of balance. So as a pastor, he should be talking about that. But I don't disagree with you that he should be doing more about it either. Like, I don't disagree with that. I'm never going to disagree with that, because I feel like church should be the foundation of the community. So I personally think we should be talking about all of this stuff and doing all of this stuff out of the churches, to be completely honest with you. And the fact that we're not is really telling to me. So I don't think it's enough to just speak on it. I'm not saying you shouldn't. You should speak on it. But I don't think it's enough to just speak on it alone and then leave it in people's laps, right? I agree with that. What I think we should do as people, I'm the eat the meat, spit out the bones girl. Like, what I think we should do as people, though, we should take what's valid in that conversation and let's just run with that, right? Because at the end of the day, unfortunately, this society is raising up generations of women who are more masculine and less feminine. And it really is a sign of the times and the society that we're living in. Women are applauded when they can, take charge and take off. And I'm not even saying that women shouldn't try to be successful or in the corporate world. If that's what you want, that's what you want. Like, I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just simply saying, as women, I feel like we've lost our balance. Like, we tip the scale so much to that take charge, masculine, aggressive approach, that when it is time for us to kind of take that off, because it is, I've said it before, it's like armor you put on. And when it's time for us to take that armor off so that we can be the version of ourselves that we were created to be, a lot of times it's hard for us to do that, right? Because we've spent all this time being this harder, more aggressive, more masculine versions of ourselves, that is sometimes hard to be able to say, okay, I don't have to bring that home. I don't have to do that. If a man is in the scenario, if a man is in the picture, then that's the role that he should be carrying. You shouldn't even have to carry that, nor should you want to have to carry that. You already have enough to carry. You shouldn't want to carry his and yours. That's not like women. That's not what you were built for. Let him carry his and you carry yours. Now, in the situation where you have a single mother where she don't have no choice and she got to do what she got to do, I totally understand that. I am not talking about that, but I feel like a lot of women want to be, like I said, I think it's the minority that want to be single forever. I believe the majority of women do want to be in relationships, and this one thing is making it difficult for you to be in a relationship because you can't play both sides. You can't play both sides. You do have to assume your role so that a man can assume his. Now, I'm not saying just go find any old man. I'm not saying that. This has to be someone who proves themselves to be worthy.
Well, Chloe, I have a question. This is what I always think about this stuff. In the corporate world, in the world of men at this point can't keep up with a woman personally. Just mentally, we're not the same. Mentally, men are physically stronger than us, but mentally, women have always, that's why they call us cats. You know, we're going to beat them out. That's just how I feel at this point. You know, once we got into that, I'm sorry. Yes, I said it, Mr. Price. Women are just. No. Listen, our minds think differently. We're strategic. We're very strategic in comparison to men. Yes. Yes. Y'all are physically stronger than us, but mentally, I don't think
men have more than just physical strength.
No, I'm not saying that, but women are very strategic. We're strategic. Okay. We all know that about women. When a woman about to leave a man, they got a whole plan 6 years in advance. You know what I'm saying? So
y'all sneaky.
So what I'm
That's
thinking,
right.
Look, I done been there. I had a divorce plan 9 years.
Right.
I was ready. I got to get this degree. I got to make this money. I got to do this. I already had a whole plan 9 years in advance. Right. So what I'm thinking at this point is not even about that. It's the point of, I think it's more monetary. Teaching a woman to be okay with a man making less than her. I think that's where we're at this point. I don't think our pay salary is not going to go down. We're going to still keep climbing. We're probably going to become presidents and everything else, take over corporations. At this point, it just is what it is. But women aren't okay with a man making less than them. I think it's just about money sometimes, to be honest.
I think the fact that we bring it, I think that it's telling, and I hope I get a chance to get this out. I think that it's telling that we bring it back to money. I think that it's telling that we'd always bring it back to money. I think that it's telling that we when we measure a woman's success, we measure it based off the fact that she has upward mobility, right? Like she's shooting. I think we need to understand that society has built it that way. Society has been, I'm going to speak to just the Black community because that's the community I'm a part of. The community has built, the society has built the community to excel women, Black women in particularly, and to continue to lengthen the divide between Black men and Black women. So I'm not giving Black men a pass and saying, oh, poor Black man. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we need to understand as women that this is a narrative that is fed to us and then it is nurtured. So yeah, it's going to be a lot easier for you, Janice, to get into rooms that Vince or Kawasi might have a struggle to get into those same rooms. And you have to understand that
white men gonna like a Black woman before they like a Black man.
It's intentional. Yeah. So while we're busy measuring the success levels in that way, we're missing a point. And this is why we don't have a strong, he's right. TD is right. This is why our communities are falling apart because we're so busy being so wildly successful and so much more wildly successful than our men that we don't understand that this is slowly just breaking down our structure. It does not matter if you can get into that room that he can't get into. That's not the point. He is bringing something to the situation that you need because a woman, you are not complete. Women, you are not complete. You were not made complete. Men, you are not complete. You were not made complete. We were made with varying personalities for a reason because we're supposed to complement each other. We are not complete on our own. So for a woman to think that because our upward mobility is higher in certain ways, so that means that I'm okay. I just need to figure out, my only problem is I just need to figure out how to be okay with a man that makes less. That's the mindset change.
It is.
That's a terrible mindset.
But your daddy
we have to get to the point where we have this separate conversation. Okay, we can talk about what women are doing wrong without bringing up what men are doing wrong. That right there, that just is deflecting. We need to address what's going wrong with our women.
It's parenting.
We need to address that. Yeah. And then while we're addressing that, okay, boom, let's have that conversation. Then let's go over here. Let's check what's going on with the men, right? Because there's something going on both sides. Nobody is blameless. But it shouldn't be every time we go to talk about one. Well, what about this? Well, what about them over here? Like, let's talk about this. Yes, women in general at this stage in the game are super masculine. Super masculine. And that's bad. We don't need to excuse it. We don't need to justify it. We don't put no bow on it, no roses. It just is what it is. And ladies, until we own it and we say, why am I this way? What can I do to change it? Because you can't have two penises. Period. You cannot have that. We ain't doing no penis fights, men and women. Like, this crazy to me. This blows my mind.
Jesus, Chloe.
This blows my mind, ladies. Like, get into this.
I think women do understand.
If you want to be married, if you want to be married, you want to be with a man, you can't be a man. Nobody, I love y'all ladies, but nobody cares if you can make 6 figures plus. The man don't care. He don't care. He not marrying your money. See, ladies, we marry the money. Men don't marry the money.
Back in the day, they didn't. A lot of these men now do.
What women value in other women is not the same thing that men value in women. So while you looking at that woman thinking she's so great because she got this, this, and this, a man is looking at her going, she don't measure up. And I think that's why we can't figure out why we still single when we seem like we got it all together. And I just want to please. I didn't mean to go on a tangent, but I just want to please, ladies. Like the one thing I think that I can ask is, please start in that self-love that you give yourself. Do some self-reflection at the same time. Do some of that, because ladies walking around right now, baby, and they think that it's all good, that the only problem they have is the man. And I'm over here going, ladies, you can't. What's the title? You gotta be kidding me.
So let me ask this question. I need to understand something. So, Janice, I got a question for you. What do you think? So, put yourself in a man's shoes temporarily. What do you think that men hold in high regard when they're looking for wives? What do you think they hold in high regard?
I can only go about, I be dating men. I can only go off what I've been hearing. The one I'm supposed to go out with on Friday, he wants you to wear heels. He wants you to work out. He wants you to have a good job. It's a whole list. I'd be like, I don't know what man hold in high regard at this point. I don't even know what to tell you, because they got a whole list. Look at Vince. He about to say, don't go out with him. I don't know, because my cousin tells me, John, you got to be careful dating, because you have your shit together. And I'm like, what that? Like, I don't think like that. I'm thinking like I'm just a normal woman. No, you work out, you got a good job, you chill, you don't have a really bad attitude. So I don't know what men are looking for, because I don't know. Vince, let me know. You a man, because I keep Vince ready. Go ahead, Vince.
Go ahead, Vince.
I gotta stop you right there.
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. Now, man, you only got married 3 years ago. I've been single a long time. I ain't like Kawhi and Chloe. I ain't find that perfect love young and sail on into the sunset. I done kissed a couple frogs. But I'm going to tell you that the main thing is this competition thing. I dated someone RN, help her get through school. Da, da, da. Then she gonna, well, I want my own business. I want my own. I'm not gonna change my name. I said, but if we get married, my business is your business. Well, I want my own business. But my business is your business. And we grow the business, but it's this whole competition thing. And I really understand that a lot of you ladies, you just don't know what the type of man that you want. That's why y'all keep getting the same type of dude. Because you want a man who's a provider, who's a protector, who this and that. They don't care. They want an attitude. They want a cooperative spirit. These women telling you you got yourself together. Ask the men what they go to any man that can tell you the truth. See, that's the problem too. A lot of these men don't say the truth because they don't really care. They don't really care. So it's the cooperation thing. It's the fact that, and I think really, if you really to be honest, I think a lot of the women who are at a certain level, like maybe you, Janice, I think a lot of y'all really need to settle for the guys that make less than y'all and get attitude adjustment. Because really, those are the type of men that y'all really will be able to do something with. Because the men that got something ain't gonna take all this extra. They gonna go find somebody. I'm serious, Janice. I'm serious. I'm not joking. I'm serious.
It just sounded funny. I'm sorry.
I know you serious, Vince.
I'm serious as cancer. And then this thing and see what we push to the black women is something crazy that's not pushed to the white woman.
What that mean?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you an example. Everything that I ever made, I knew that I was going to have to share with a woman. I was doing it so I can take care of a woman. Y'all make that money and y'all think about yourself. Y'all don't think about, I got to do this for a man. I knew if I made a certain amount of money, if I got a house and a Mercedes, a wife got to have a Mercedes. Y'all don't think that way. Y'all don't think, if you know you don't, Johnny. If you got a house and you got a Mercedes and your husband make less than you, you ain't saying, I got the money, I'm gonna make sure he got a Mercedes. Your thing is gonna be, you need to work so you can get your own Mercedes. Am I right or am I wrong? And that's the thing. Right. And then another thing is push to the black woman is be a king, be a king, be a king. But you know who the most important role is? The queen. The queen can sit in the castle while the king go out there and fight. Y'all want to go out there and fight.
Well, Vic, do I get any credit for being married for 10 years? I've only been divorced for like a year and a half. I get some credit?
Yeah, I guess you get credit. I was married before too, but I was married a year, so I don't count that. But my thing is it's like a weakness to y'all. It's like a weakness, because y'all can't go out there and fight. But you ain't got to go out there and fight. You can stay at home. You can stay at home and get all the attributes without having to go out there and fight. But y'all won't go out there and fight. If you looked at the movie, the new Coming to America movie, how the daughter was so pressed because she wanted to fight. What she should have did is been smart and partner with the brother and let his dumb ass go out there and fight. And she could have been telling him what to do. But she was so pressed to go, I want to fight. And that's what we do to our black women. We push them. Get out there and fight. Get out there and be men. Get out there. You get this when you can sit here and really understand things. And another thing about you saying that women are, it takes both. It's strength in both. Yeah. And if your comment was true, then why are black women in the most debt? They're the highest consumers. They're the most likely to die without life insurance. Because y'all make things out of emotion. You're emotional creatures. You buy with emotion. You shop for emotion. That's why
Yes.
y'all are the biggest consumers,
Yes, that's true.
right? And that's why they trying to keep y'all single, so y'all can keep getting them BBLs, so y'all can keep buying them Gucci bags and not paying your rent. Because they know if y'all had a man, he gonna tell you, no, baby, you know what, we might need to save, and you might just get one Gucci bag. Oh, baby, you ain't got to go get that BBL. Let's go to the gym. Let's go to Planet Fitness. You ain't got to spend 10,000. I'll help you.
Planet Fitness.
Whatever. I'm just saying that we need each other, and until we understand that, just like right now, we got Shri Tanada is gonna be our congressman because 8 other people couldn't get together and say, you know what, we just go, supporting. We just go support Hodier or Shan McPhail, whoever it is. Everybody want to be the boss. You got, and then it's a thing about when did it come where the black man plight is not the black woman's plight?
Right.
When did that come about? Like, if you support the black man, you ain't supporting the black woman. It's like, well, put the man in there then. No. We gotta have a sister in there. When did it come where you think the black man ain't gonna take care of the whole thing?
Woo. Can we talk about that for a second? Okay, let me just make this point. I'm sorry, but Vince, you just dropped a bomb when you said that. When did it become that the plight of the black man is not the plight of the black woman? Like when, but even that mindset, right, is why our community is literally imploding. Because now it's every man for themselves. We don't even think about, this is my partner. Like, even you don't have to be married to this person. You still need to care about their situation, because ultimately the stronger they are, you strong, he's strong community, right? But if the black woman is doing so great, come on, black man, what's wrong with you? Get it together. Right? Like, you understand that we need to be pouring into each other. We need to be pouring into each other. Because I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to say this. And I know this for absolute fact. You mentioned voting. When that white couple go into the election booth, that woman can feel however she want to feel about the candidate. But that husband go say, you better vote for X, Y, and Z.
That's how,
because they are going to help our situation.
How Donald Trump get in?
Hello. And you better believe them white women skipped into that election booth. It didn't matter if he was grabbing poo-poos or not. Okay. They skipped right into that election booth and they voted. They voted for what would ensure the stability of their family unit. Meanwhile, emotional us, we're like, oh no, girl power, black girl magic.
I didn't vote for Kamala.
And I'm just, I'm just saying, I'm not saying you did, but I'm just saying that's what a lot of women did though. They went right in there. Black girl magic. They went right in there and did that. And it's like, now look what you got. But I'm just saying, like, not that I even believe in the whole institution of voting anyway, but the point that I'm making is valid. Like, we've become so selfish that it's every man for himself, not understanding that you can't build a strong community that way. You can't build a strong community, strong families by saying every man or woman for themselves. You cannot do that. And because that is what we're doing right now, that is why we're seeing what we're seeing. It shouldn't be about, how far I'm gonna go so much farther than this man. So maybe the problem is, let me change my mindset. Let me look at this differently. What else is this man bringing to the table? He's bringing all of these other things to the table. I'm not going to have to worry about all of this other bucket of things having this man in my life. He's an asset, not a liability. Now, unless you're picking liabilities. Now, that's a whole nother conversation.
So let me ask this question. I got a question. So we got a couple ladies viewing right now. We got a couple ladies on the panel. But I'm gonna direct this question straight to Janice.
Uh-oh.
Did I say goddamn my bad?
I want you to keep it all the way real with me, Janice, when I ask you this question. In 2022, do you respect black men?
Can I add something to before I answer? I like to address Vince, please, if that's okay, Your Honor. Vince, I feel like you have me labeled as this high maintenance woman. I am high maintenance, but you have me labeled like the last guy. Well, he's gone, Mr. Price, the truck driver. He had to go, but the new one is the HVAC. So it's not like I'm not giving. I'm trying new things. I dated a truck driver. Now I'm dating a guy that paints and do HVAC. So I just want to make sure I'm not labeled as like a woman that wants a doctor and a lawyer. I'm giving these men chances, and I am trying something different. I just thought I'd say that for Vince. And I have no Gucci purses, no Louis Vuittons, no Chanel's, none of that. Okay? So let's just put that out there.
I'm gonna say this, Janice.
I feel like you have this vision, this thing of me, and it's really not like most men don't be like, oh, Janice has an attitude. No, that's not my issue.
This is what I'm gonna say. I understand y'all plight though, because you've obtained so much, single, divorced, or whatever, that you do have to have a man with a certain income to even see. A man can date somebody who make less than him because he know, well, I gotta pay this, Rouge Chris bill, all of it. I gotta pay this Hyde Park bill, all of it, every single time, and we okay with that. But women are not okay with really spending their money like that. Not for real. If you
my mama didn't have to.
If you go to Jamaica, you might go once or twice Dutch, but women really don't want to spend their money like that. And then also, men have a certain ego too. So it is hard because you at a certain level, and then you're not going to treat him the way that you're going to treat the dude that got the money, and he know that. He know you're not going to look at him the way you look at a guy who can pay the whole dinner. You're going to look at him like, well, okay, we together, so I'm okay. And he knows this. And I understand y'all plight. It's a real hard plight. And that's why I think that we should really push our young people to get together early, build together. Because then it's y'all money. It ain't your money, my money. Your experiences, my experiences. It's our experiences together. I understand your plight, Janice. I know you're probably a very young, nice woman. But it's hard when you making 130 and he making 50 because you have a lifestyle difference. You just do. If you go somewhere and you used to staying at the Ritz-Carlton, it's very hard for you to stay at Days Inn.
Oh, somebody tried to put me in the red room. Okay, Price. What was your question, Price?
Then on top of it, it ain't like he Idris Elba.
Right?
He might just be regular schmegular.
Okay, but hold up.
This conversation just went off the rails.
So you said, do I respect men, Price?
No, I'm gonna circle back to that. I gotta say something. Like Vince just said something, and I gotta call this. So okay. So ladies.
She said no days in a red roof. Erica said, girl, red roof fan.
Ladies, what we doing out here, right? And this is why I'm saying, okay. So the ladies are saying that, and I'm gonna use some hypothetical numbers. So the ladies are saying that I'm making 100,000 plus. He making 50. So essentially, you got to frown upon that brother because he making less money. Okay. But then at the same time, when y'all come into the space of the man making the 200,000, and he presents his expectations, y'all don't want to come up to that level.
I don't agree with that.
That's
I can cater pretty good if you're making that much. I got
here we go. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Okay, so if that's the case, if the brother at 50,000 is a good dude, why you can't cater to him?
I think this is what I told the one guy I was talking to recently. If you making 50,000 or less, I mean, can my breakfast be cooked? Can my lunch be cooked? Can the kids be? No. I mean, you got to do those things. If I'm already no.
Oh my God!
No, not gonna do it.
See what I'm saying? You're not gonna treat him.
But Janice, the thing is, he's okay.
What?
Here's the thing. This is the mindset change, right? That has to happen.
Work.
He is still the man in that situation. He is still the man in that situation. Like the roles don't change because the money changes.
Well, then I think he needs to date his tax bracket.
We can't put everybody in the same, you know what I'm saying, bucket.
I
like
Chloe, I don't want it, Chloe.
So, but that's the thing. If you don't want it, then you shouldn't. Then you should just set your standard for what your standard is. But we can't do the man like that. This is still a man. He's still bringing. He is going to be bringing other things to the table outside of just his income. So you still, as women, we still have to respect that man for the position that he is in as the man. Like we don't want to start degrading this man or taking anything away from the position that he holds because of his income, right? He's still a man.
I agree, Chloe. So he should stay in his tax bracket. And I can do 70 and above. 70. I can do 70.
Okay, wait a minute.
Well, whatever your standard is, you have to listen. She has to set her standard for what she's comfortable with. For me, it's the mindset. So if she's saying she needs a certain thing, she has to do that. For me, I'm more concerned about the mindset because if you don't have the right mindset with a man that makes 70 or 60 or whatever, like you're not gonna have the right mindset for a man that makes 200K. That's a cap. It's the cap because you have to adjust because at that point it's just conditional. You're only doing that because of that, which means that if anything changes about that situation, if anything is not exactly right or perfect or whatever, your mindset is still not, it's not where it needs to be. So that means that it's almost like you kind of just going along.
I don't want 50, Chloe.
I'm just saying, it's the mindset for me.
I got questions. Cause see this, I'm glad this conversation took this turn. I was about to get up off here, but I'm glad this conversation took this turn, and I'm not gonna let you get away from answering my question, Janice. But I gotta ask this question: Why don't? Okay, let me put it this way: Why don't Paco have this problem? So Paco get up every day, he get his lunch packed. He go cut grass. He plant flowers, cut grass, whatever. He take that money back to the crib, take care of the family, take care of his wife. That's that. Wife makes sure Consuela makes sure Paco good. She ain't over here talking about his salary. She ain't talking about if he making 50,000. She want to make sure the family is taken care of. And Paco work hard for that money. So what's different? What's different about us?
I got the perfect answer for you.
Hold on. Let me read this comment, Vince. Nicole IT said, because Paco parents taught his women different. All right. So we getting somewhere. Okay. So the women look at the situation differently in Paco's community than ours. Is that what you're saying, Nicole? Just let me know if I'm understanding what you're saying. Go ahead, Vince. You was gonna say something, man?
And Paco didn't get Maria at 35 with 2 kids, a mortgage, a car note, $100,000 in student loan debt, and he working at Home Depot. He got Maria when they was both 21 years old and they could live in a 1-bedroom apartment. They don't have no kids, and she working at Walmart. And then they build together. Paco working at Home Depot, but then Paco veer off by the time he's 30, and he's the manager at Home Depot. Then they have 1 kid. Then by 35, Paco and Maria start a contracting business, a lawn service. So now by the time he's 40, you get what I'm saying? So
No, I get it.
it's
I
not
get it.
Works for me.
necessarily also, and I agree with Johnny. I agree, but it's not just the money, it's the lifestyle. We wait till we have already built these lifestyles, men and women, because I know a lot of my guy friends who want a certain type of woman, but they can't get it either. They want her to be fine. They want her to be fit. They want her to be this and that. But then, you gotta understand that, if you're not coming with what she wants, then she gonna pass you by. I got guy friends like that too, that's in the same situation as the ladies are. They want something, but they not giving what the person that they wants something. If you want a fine woman, you go have to understand, I gotta have some paper. That's just the way the world works. So if we don't understand that and we keep going off these one-offs, then I think that that's our problem. I think we wait too long, just like your boy K say. A lot of these ladies wait too long, and their price is too big, and they cannot reduce their lifestyle. And the guy and the guy for a woman to really do that, the guy would have to be long D Willie, 6'4", fine. He can't be just a regular schmegular guy who working at the oil change, because their lifestyle, and eventually she's gonna start treating him a certain way. Then he gonna go out there and find somebody else, and that's why so many men cheat. It's not necessarily because of the sex; it's because these ladies are feeling the need that their wife or their significant other might not be doing. So I think I think a lot of women have to understand, if I want a man, then I'm just gonna have to hunt. I'm gonna have to settle. If you want one, now if you don't want one, because there's more men who make less than 70,000 out there, Chinese, 50, 60 maybe. Because the man making 75,000 can have you and somebody 10 years younger than you, 20 years younger than you.
Well, out here, 70,000 is not a lot in DC.
Well, however much it is, 100,000.
That's not a
And
lot.
my thing is, everybody wants the best deal.
Yes, but I mean,
Everybody wants the best deal.
sometimes it can be where you live too, like in Detroit or Ohio. Yeah, 70,000 is a lot. In DC, 70,000 is not a lot. The men here make a lot more money than that in DC.
Right.
Black
So
men.
you gotta understand, if you want this type of man, then what does he really want? And most of the time, he wants a woman that's cooperative. He wants a woman that's gonna be quiet and understand that he's the man and he know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And a lot of ladies and it's not y'all fault. Y'all so used to leading, it's hard. When you used to being in a leadership position, that's like me going from the owner of my company to a worker. It would be very hard if I've been the owner for 30 years, 20 years. Now I got to go to a worker.
Yeah, but Vince, man, see
I really do.
But see, that's my issue, man. I think we are, some of this stuff I feel like we are crossing up. And I know we got to get ready to wrap in minutes. I think some of this stuff I feel like we crossing up. Are these ladies leading, or are they just being adults? I mean, some of the stuff we got to think about. When we talk about all this independent and all of this stuff, it's like you just being an adult.
Yeah.
Like, so you paying your bills, making yourself something to eat and taking care of your responsibilities. Like that don't. I mean, that's what we've been saying. That's regular smuggler, ain't it?
Yeah.
Dudes got to do the same thing. Dudes don't get no trophy for doing that.
But women automatically feel like if they have a man, then that should help them take the load off. A man understands when he got a woman, that adds to the load.
That's a valid point.
A woman feels like a man should help with the load, not add to it.
Right. No, that's I feel that. Let me get this comment. Erica Arrington says, so let's see. So it's be successful and settled to have someone, or be successful and stay single to protect others' feelings.
No, I don't think that's what we're saying. Like, I think what we're saying is change your mindset. Like, what's your version of success? Like, I feel like our thoughts around success need to change. Like, success needs to be measured by the quality of your life, not the quantity of your life. You can be with a $200,000 making man and be and it be horrible. It not be any kind of marriage that you want to be in. He not be any kind of man that you really want to be with, right? Like, I think we need to start measuring our success differently. We need to start measuring our success off of, what is this man bringing to my life? Okay, he got finance. Let's put the finance over in this bucket. Now let me go through what else is he bringing. I'm not saying that you go look for any old kind of man. That's not what I'm saying, ladies. And I wouldn't ever tell a lady to do that. I'm just simply saying, are we not looking at this in like the full picture, right? Like, are we just so hyper focused on the money that in this materialistic, capitalistic society that we are missing maybe our husbands because he is not coming wrapped in this particular package that we feel he should come wrapped in, right? If you're a woman that says, I want to work, I want to be someone who has my own career, I want to have something going for myself, like this is what I want, then is it that big of a deal that a man doesn't make as much as you make? Because now you guys are partners, right? You said you want to work. You want to work. You want to have your own. You want to be able to work. You want to have. So is it that big of a deal that you guys are entering into this as a partnership? So he's coming with his, you coming with yours. Now, if you're a woman who wants to be a stay-at-home mom, you want to be just dedicated housewife, homemaker, then you are going to be looking differently, right? You are absolutely going to be looking for the man that can provide you that type of lifestyle. So for you, it might be a deal breaker because you're deciding that's what you want. But ladies, I would just say, don't decide that after 2 kids and in your 40s, because that's probably not the time to decide you want to be a housewife. But I'm just saying, like, I know I say this a lot, y'all, and y'all probably tired of hearing me say this, but it really is about our mindset. And we've been so conditioned to just think one way, and it's really narrow. That I think we need to try to come out of that. Like, some of these women are missing their husbands, like literally, the lame guy, the corny guy, like that was your husband, sis. That legit was your husband. But because he just didn't fit what you say you wanted, like Vince said, a lot of y'all really don't know what it is y'all want, or better yet, what y'all need. Then you missed it. And now we over here arguing about money. Like, that's the only thing that matters.
Can we say, can we say 50,000 with like a 401k and a savings? And he already has a house.
Well, I would hope that a man. Okay.
Bruh. Well, let's clarify that. If you make 50,000 a year and you ain't got no savings, you ain't got your own home. No. And at the age of 40 and above, no. You can have 50 as long as you got a savings.
Hold on.
I added a savings. Why can't he have a savings?
I gotta say this.
Damn it, man, he can't have a savings.
Yes, he can have a savings.
Do the ladies ever? Do they even talk about the stuff that's actually sustaining anymore? Like,
okay,
I don't even.
Okay, insurance, medical insurance. Can he have medical insurance too?
No, he has some medical insurance, yes. But I'm like, do the ladies even talk about how he treat me anymore? Like, do they talk about how he acts around my kids? Like, do they talk about how cool he is with my mama? Like, does that stuff even come up anymore outside his paycheck?
Yes. I want all that.
I think a lot of that is important, Quay, but I think that once you get to a certain age, see, we got to talk about, it's different when you 25 and building and you 40 and building.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, when you 40 and building, it's more of, and that a lot, you hear so many women, I said, well, why you leave your husband? Well, he wasn't ambitious. We grew apart. It's usually not because he beat me in the head, with a hammer, or it's usually because of financial lifestyle type of situations. And so it's not necessary. And then it's also about living in your passion and your purpose. Because let's say the man is a teacher, and that's his passion and that's his purpose, and his wife is a doctor. That's a difference in income.
Right.
But they waited till they have a lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't meet in college, and he was a teacher, and they built it together. They worked together. He helped her with her homework, and he did it. And then your value is there. But when you've already built a lifestyle, then your value is different. And we just have to be honest. Your value is different. If you're a woman, your lifestyle is different. And there's so many things that can. I don't care what all that other stuff is. The lifestyle is the thing that's going to usually break it up, because men and women are just different. Women don't feel like they should have to take care of a man financially, and men know we got to take care of a woman financially. That's why it can work either way with us. A man can be a millionaire and marry a woman at Walmart and marry a doctor, and it'd be the same thing. You don't see very many higher earning women who marry a lower income man, and it works because the lifestyles are different.
I think that's the conflict, though, Vince. So, first issue is you have women holding things in high regard that men do not. So that's the first issue. Then you have the second issue of women basing their picking off of how much money that the guy is making. So it's like you got a whole conflict. Like, so let me ask this question. I got to go back to Janice. I can tell these drinks wearing off. I got to go back to Janice. So if the dude was 6 feet tall, he had a 10-inch package. He was
dark chocolate.
attractive.
Can it be dark chocolate with good tea?
Yeah, so he dark chocolate, white teeth, and all the ladies. The ladies swear he a handsome dude. If he making 50,000, you messing with him or you passing him up?
You said messing with him. You say if I'm married. You didn't say married. You said what I mess with him.
No, I'm saying is you
said what I mess with him. You said what I marry him.
Okay, so would you marry him? That's what I'm asking. Would you marry him?
Oh, I don't know. I have to know more about him. I do have. I mean, my situation. I have kids, so I mean, it's not like I'm gonna have to go a little bit deeper into. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. So let me switch it up then. So let's see how you about to play this. So he making 150,000. What you doing then?
I still got kids. No matter what, I got kids. That's just how I am. I got kids, and I have a lifestyle for my children. Like, I'm very big into education. My daughter takes Chinese. We do swimming. I don't play about. So that's all monetary money. I'm not living in the hood with you.
If it's the same man, exact same man, 50,000 or 150,000.
What do you mean? It's still based off. I don't just go off a
look. No. I'm saying it's the exact same man. Who do you choose? If he's good to the kids, it's the exact same man. He make 50. He make 150.
So they both good with my kids, and they both good guys.
They're exactly the same. It's just.
Then I'm gonna take the one that make the most. You saying that the same?
Exactly.
Okay, that's okay. All right, we good. All right, so let me hit you with this question, and we got to get the heck up out of here. I'm gonna hit you with this question one more time.
I'm gonna ask Chloe, who you taking? Look.
For me?
Chloe married. I know she's married. We can't ask Chloe.
So I'm gonna hit you with this. Like I said, I'm gonna hit you with this question again. I said, we're gonna get ready to take closing statements. It's about 10:20 up here. So real talk. Like I said, 2022. Do y'all respect black men? Real talk. Like, do y'all respect black men? Y'all still respect black men in 2022? That's for you, Janice.
Oh, I respect people in general.
Here she go. Here she go. Shout out to IT.
No, that's the truth. I respect people. Okay, let's talk about this. Remember the truck driver? I brought him on here.
Right.
I respected him. You know, he wasn't my type.
He wasn't your type.
No. No.
You know, I got questions, but I know we can't get into personal stuff.
No, I mean he wasn't my type. Like he doesn't work out. He's out of shape. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't my type. You know, okay. Truck drivers have a certain look. Some of them do. You know, it wasn't my type, but I gave him a chance. So I do respect men. I feel like I give all men a chance. You know, I give men a chance.
Okay, I got some questions, but I know we can't cover it on this show.
Well, you got to ask about the new one on Friday. We'll go to the new one on Friday.
Oh man, I'm about to be quiet. We got to take closing statements. I'm gonna go to the ladies first. We're gonna start with Janice, Chloe. We're gonna go down to Vince. Y'all got anything y'all want to say in closing before we get out of here?
Go ahead, Chloe. You go first.
I mean, I would just say the reason why I kind of keep just like harping on the mindset is because I know you guys know that perspective means a lot. You know, that whole glass half empty, half full situation. It really means a lot. So sometimes entering into these scenarios and these situations, you have to be looking at it from more than just one angle. Like, I'm not saying a woman should have standards. I'm not saying if you are at a point where, you know, you have achieved a certain amount of success for yourself financially, and you're like, okay, I really want a man to come in and enhance this, then I understand that. I totally get that. But I feel like we need to be really looking at, you know, quality over quantity. Because there's a lot that these potential men could really, really bring to your life that doesn't have a price tag on it, like it doesn't have a budget on it. And I just want women to be open to that, right? I'm not telling you just go pick a random dude off the street. I'm definitely not telling you to do that. But I want you to be open because I don't want you to miss it. You know, if you're saying that you understand that society has placed Black women in a position, almost elevating Black women over Black men in a lot of ways, then you have to understand that that man may have had a struggle that you didn't have. Does that mean that it gives him an excuse not to try, not to work, not to do anything, not to aspire to anything? Absolutely not. If you're coming across that man, that's the deal breaker. I'm not talking about that guy though. I'm talking about the guy who has worked hard all his life and he has been able to obtain some things for himself, but maybe he just hasn't gotten as far as you are. I think that it's something to be said when you build something together, right? Like a couple who could like come through the dirt, you know, I think it's something to be said about that. I do agree that it is easier. It absolutely is easier to start younger, and you guys are basically more on an even keel and you kind of grow together, right? Paco's scenario. I do believe that is easier. Because at a certain point you do get set in your ways. You get set with your lifestyle, you get set with your thoughts, you get set with your mindset, you're just set. And I just think a lot of women who are finding themselves in that situation might have to just stop and take a moment and say, how much of this is really this guy's deficiency or how much of it is me not thinking about this situation correctly? Because what could that man possibly be bringing to your life? That man could come into your life and love your dirty draws, girl, and love your kids too, right? And that is going to add to the quality of your life. Because imagine what a man who loves you that much and loves your kids that much is going to bring to your life. You cannot put a dollar sign on that. It just means so much more. So you can continue to spin your wheels, or you could change your mindset. And, you know, girl, go find your happiness. You know, and don't let society tell you it's got to have a specific dollar sign on it.
That's real. That's real. No, we appreciate that. Go ahead, Janice, it's on you.
I agree. Like, find your person at a young age. I teach my daughter that. You know, find your person at a young age. I'm gonna say now at this age, I'm not lowering my standards. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not doing it. If I work out, you gonna work out. If I eat right, you gonna eat right. Um, I don't ask even guys what they make when I first start meeting them. Actually, when I start dating, I don't even. The guy go out on Friday. I don't know how much he make. We didn't talk on the phone for a week. That's not something I asked. You know, I'm not. Money is important, but comma. I just want to see how he's gonna treat me, how he's gonna act. Is he good with his mama? Does he have a daddy? Like I can put that on my dating website now. If you weren't raised by a man, some man in your family didn't raise you. I don't want no parts of you. You know. And that's just me putting out that standard. I've learned through this dating process that if you don't have a good relationship with a man in your life, as a man, you just not gonna work for me, you know. So I just think everybody should stick to their standards, and you'll be okay. That's just how I think. That's my standard. So money is not the be all end all for me, you know. I'm okay if you make less, but comma, if you weren't raised by a man, I just don't want no parts of you. I realize that at this point in life because I'm not trying to date a woman.
Okay. I was about to respond. Okay, I ain't gonna say nothing. Go ahead, Vince. You want to say something in closing, man?
In closing, I just think that we need to continue to have these conversations. I know that it might be one person listening that might get something out of it. It might be something that somebody hears, and I know I think that a lot of times we do have to look at character. Character is the most important thing. It's not about money. It's not about finances. It's about the character of a person. And once we look at the character of a person, then I think that it will be easier to have these relationships. But we do live in the real world, so we do have to understand those things. And I think that sometimes, especially with our women, is that once you've gotten to a certain income level, it's going to be almost impossible to find that the man that will meet even most of your standards. You're going to have to measure character and what do you want in your life. If a man is making $30,000, but you guys have a good time, then don't let it be about the money. Then you don't let it be about the money, and still treat him like he's a millionaire.
Vince, why we keep lowering it? Why we keep lowering the number? Now we down to 30. Really?
Yeah, but we have to because honestly, I'm gonna tell a quick story. The aunt that they used to run the business, she was 40 years old. When she got married, she had her first child at 43, and the next one at 50. And I know that's crazy, but she married a man who was a local truck driver who probably made half as much as she did. But she got 2 kids. They bought a house together that probably she paid most of it for. But she had a life and she had a partner for the rest of her life. And she treated him like, it wasn't no money thing. So I think a lot of times, we old now. So all this, it shouldn't matter, but it does. So I just think that we just have to base it on character. And if he fat, then okay, he's fat. He's short, he's short. It's gonna be something that you don't like.
Man, I saw your beautiful wife. You think if you was made 30,000, would she have still married you?
No, she wouldn't.
Okay, that's all I want to say because I seen your wife, and I was like, she ain't marrying no $30,000 man.
And I wouldn't marry her if she was 400 pounds.
True.
I qualified for what I wanted, and she qualified for what I wanted.
There we go. Okay.
So, yep, exactly. I know the deal. So I tell everybody every day, you need to get some money, you'll get treated better. And that's just keeping it 100.
Amen.
All right, now. See y'all next Wednesday. This is what I be talking about.
Get you some money, you'll get treated better.
You will. Chloe, I don't even know how my washing machine works.
But no, but see, Vince, that's the point that I was making earlier, man.
I
I
ain't
said
mad at that.
we'll get ready to wrap. That's the
He
point
said
I was
show
making
over.
earlier, right?
Nicole said
So,
show over.
Well,
for
you just closed us out.
so
You
for the
just wrapped
men,
us up.
to your point, if the men get some money in their hands, they'll get treated better, right?
I tell my sons, you get treated better. I'm sorry, go out. It is. Hey, I live in the real world. Be fine and some money. You'll win.
No, I get what you're saying,
And a
but
man of good character. I don't want. I'm
There
just
you go,
playing with
Vince.
y'all right now. Y'all get me though.
I don't want you to beat my ass and got money. You know what I'm saying, Vince?
No, never that. I would never that. I would have to raise my voice. No.
you know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
Men who are abusers are usually broke men, or very, because that's what they have to do, and they have to insert their strength over you. I don't have to do.
I feel like Mr. Price has an issue with this money thing, but if you go back to ancient times, to cultures, like women were married to men that had the most money. Their daddy didn't want them to marry no broke dude.
I don't. No. So I don't have a problem with the money thing. What I do have a problem with is this really us? That's what I got the problem with. So we keep talking about this lifestyle. Yeah, but a lot of the lifestyles that we live in right now, to keep it real, we've been fed this stuff. Like let me just keep it a buck. Yeah, when our parents came through, they wasn't talking all this garbage we talking. They wasn't worried about no Birkin bags. They wasn't worried about no C-class. They wasn't worried about no $500,000 house. They wasn't worried about none of that. They was talking about having a house. They was talking about getting their kids into a good school system. They was talking about having a decent job to be able to pay the bills, take a couple little trips here and there. They wasn't talking all this stuff we talking right now. And that's my concern. How much of these preferences is really ours? Yeah, see, what I don't think that we realize is, and you made a good point earlier, Janice, where you said that women, and I slightly disagree with you, but you said that women are very strategic. But I think what we don't understand is that men are very strategic too.
In what?
And men in power are even more strategic than we know. And I think a lot of this stuff that we are using now to essentially grade each other was fed to us. See, we are judging, or I'm not going to say judging, we are selecting Black men based off their money. At the same time, we know that a lot of stuff systemically controls a lot of the money that a lot of our men are even able to make. But that's what we using to decide if a man is worthy or not. So forget all the other stuff. Yeah, forget his character, forget his personality, forget his love for his family, forget the way, what I'm saying, he take care of his mama and his father and everything else. Forget all the kids he mentor, like forget all of that. It starts at his money.
Right.
See, I wonder, do we understand what's happening? Because I'm trying to understand how is it that these other communities, they're not having these same discussions. Yeah, why is she not looking at Paco based off of his money? Or why is this not happening in some of these other countries? Like, so I think we really got to consider that. Like I said, because we limiting each other off of things that have been fed to us. So I wonder how much of that is actually what we really want or what our preference is. Like I said, our lifestyles today, they full of material garbage. What label can I put on? What belt buckle I got on today? What Versace loafers I got on today? What
Gucci.
You know, how many inches for the ladies, how many inches in my bundles. Like this is what our lifestyles, you know, let me shoot this flight to Miami, let me shoot this flight to Vegas. Like that's what we consider our lifestyles today. We even consider success how much money we make. It ain't even about how many lives we changing. It ain't even about how many generational wealth. Like it don't have nothing to do with that. It's this money. And I'm like, we got a situation where our women are passing up men. They might be the perfect complement because he don't make enough money. So I don't know. We might need to circle back and think about some of the stuff that we're doing and some of the stuff that we're calling our lifestyle. Because we get fed a lot. This is one of the main reasons, you know, why our women are some of the highest consumers. We get fed a lot. Yeah, they get to running them Amazon ads and y'all about to go spend y'all whole paycheck. Like we get fed a lot. But then we internalize it and call it our lifestyle. So I don't know. We got to think about that. Yeah, this thing might be more strategic than we actually think it is. But we just not controlling the strategy. Go ahead, Janice, then we're going to get out of here.
Can I say, hi, all the Leos. It's Leo season. Ah! That is all. I think Erica's a Leo too, if she's still on. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to all the Leos, the best ones of all. Thank you.
Yeah, but we definitely will have to revisit this, Corey. I think this is a very good topic. Because it's a very, very good topic. I think if we can wrap our mind around this, what we're talking about right here, I think it can help a lot of people.
No doubt, no doubt. And like I said, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, the transparency is important, right? So I appreciate Janice sharing with us what she shared, because that's important.
I'll let y'all know how my date goes on Friday too. I'll let you know.
No, you definitely let us know on the next show. We're gonna check in on that too. But I said this stuff is important, right? So we need to know what our women are thinking. We need to know what our men are thinking. Because I said that's important. A lot of times we don't talk. And like I said, that's why we try to make sure we have these conversations on this show, because we need to talk. We need to understand really what we're dealing with. Yeah, a lot of times we don't know. Yeah, we make assumptions, but you know what I'm saying, on this show, you get a chance to hear it from the ladies, from the men, and that is what it is. So like I said, I appreciate that piece, and that's important. But yeah, this is Kandid Konvos. We do this show every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday night. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. So definitely go over to YouTube, to the Quay Price page, drop a subscribe, help us grow the platform. You can also catch us on Kandid Konvos on Facebook, Quay Price on Facebook. Man, like, share, subscribe, bring a friend, spread the word, share out the show, help us build the platform. With that being said, everybody have an awesome night, and we will catch you guys next Wednesday.
Be back.